Mr. Robinson drops a bombshell right away. After 12 years together, Miss Fuller confessed that their 3-year-old son, Brandon Jr., might not actually be his. The news shattered their engagement and left Mr. Robinson with a broken heart, worried he might lose his son too. But stick around, the next part ups the ante.
12-year relationship with defendant, she confessed that your 3-year-old son, Brandon Jr., may not be your biological child. Engagement to Miss Fuller is broken off and your heart is in ruins because of the possibility you may now lose your son too.
You won't believe this twist. Miss Fuller throws in a curveball by admitting to a fling with another guy around the time Brandon Jr. was conceived. She admits she kept her paternity doubts from Mr. Robinson, thickening the plot considerably. The next revelation will have your jaw on the floor.
You were indeed sleeping with another man at the time Brandon Jr. was conceived. You hid your doubts about paternity from Mr. Robinson. You are asking the court to award you $100 to pay the fee to change Brandon Jr.'s name.
Just when you think it can't get more convoluted, how did Mr. Robinson stumble upon the potential non-paternity news, you ask? He describes a series of dodged calls and secretive moves by Miss Fuller, leading to a dramatic confrontation and her bombshell about the affair and her paternity doubts. Up next, the story twists even further. Don't blink.
We had to separate because we had to move.
So you all were in a relationship.
We were in a relationship.
Baby was what? Born.
Yep. And we were living
6
together.
months in.
We had to move. We fell on some hard times.
Okay.
Respectively, we moved back to, I moved back to my mom. She moved back to her mom.
Hold on to your popcorn. This gets spicier. In a moment of raw honesty, Miss Fuller confesses to spending a week with the potential other dad during a tumultuous period, aligning with her mysterious behavior and secretive calls. This confession sends shockwaves through Mr. Robinson and the audience alike. Fasten your seatbelts. The upcoming detail is a doozy.
So another day passed. I'm calling all day the next day. No answer. I'm like, man, what's going on? Maybe a day or so, I'm starting to get these phone calls, but they're private. But I'm not answering them. But the private phone calls are coming like every hour on the hour. So many private calls in a row for so many days, you know, I pick up the phone and she's on the line.
This revelation changes everything. The discussion shifts to Brandon Jr.'s resemblance to the other man, which has become a crucial piece of the puzzle. Miss Fuller shares a photo that suggests the child might look more like the other guy, escalating Mr. Robinson's worries and emotional distress. Just wait. The emotional roller coaster dives deeper next.
He started looking like the other guy to me when he was 6 months. I have a picture. To me, he just didn't look.
Okay, now
he didn't look like neither one. He didn't look like he didn't look like neither one of us.
And that's why the disappearing act happened, because you just.
I was feeling guilty. My conscience was getting to me, and I couldn't like look at him every day. Like, I'm sorry.
Talk about a plot twist. The court digs deeper and uncovers that Miss Fuller had an on and off 8-year affair with the other man, which she had hidden from Mr. Robinson. This long-standing deceit unveils a new level of betrayal, catching Mr. Robinson completely off guard. What happens next? It's a scene straight out of a drama series.
Yeah, that's my guy. That's the first time I held him and fed him.
So you love this child.
Oh.
This is your son until he's 6 months old. You have absolutely no idea.
None.
That he potentially couldn't be your son.
Oh, no way did I ever have thought that, Your Honor.
Things are heating up. After spotting some shady messages on Miss Fuller's social media, Mr. Robinson confronts her, leading to a heated blow-up that spills out for the neighbors to see, eventually involving the police. But wait, there's more. Next up is the nail-biting reveal of the paternity test results.
When he was born, I gotta stop.
Brandon Jr. is 3 now.
3.
So you spent the next 2.5 years continuing to bond.
Yeah, we had a falling out, like serious falling out. Social media on my phone, okay, but didn't close it. Forgot to close it. I'm about to jump on my Facebook, but I'm looking at posts, my social media or whatever, I'm looking at posts like, wait a minute, this ain't mine.
The moment of truth is almost here. The atmosphere is electric as the court readies to unveil the paternity test results. Everyone holds their breath as the future of Mr. Robinson and Brandon Jr. hangs in the balance. Don't go anywhere. The reaction to these results is priceless. Coming right up.
Indicates in 2004, you meet the other potential father. Then you have a little break in 2005. 2006, you reconnect with that other potential father.
When we would get into it, when he would put me out, that's who I would kick it with. That's who I would call.
And here we have it, folks. The results are in.
Mr. Brandon Robinson Sr., you are his father. Well, I don't even have to ask you how you feel.
Oh, man, you know,
Can you handle this twist? Ms. Hawthorne steps up, accusing Mr. Brown of being the ultimate deadbeat dad who supposedly denies their baby after getting her pregnant 3 years back. She's clearly fed up, laying it all out with no holds barred. Meanwhile, Mr. Brown shoots back, completely denying paternity, adamant that there's no way he's the father. Brace yourself because the courtroom's about to heat up even more.
Who got you pregnant 3 years ago and is now denying your baby? Mr. Brown, you say Ms. Hawthorne is a desperate liar who will say and do anything in order to have a family with you. You claim there is no way fathered her child, and you intend to prove that today.
Here comes a curveball. Ms. Hawthorne drops a bombshell that she and Mr. Brown were once high school sweethearts. Everything was peachy until, boom, he started cheating. The audience gasps, sucked into the drama. This pivotal moment really digs into the heart of their ongoing conflict. And guess what? It's only going to spiral from here.
It's not true because me and DeAndre, we were in a relationship. We were high school sweethearts. You know, I was all about him and everything. Everything was good until he started cheating.
So this was your high school sweetheart?
Yes, I lost my virginity to him.
And you say everything was going fine?
Yes,
Until
he
what?
started cheating.
You started cheating, Mr. Brown?
Well, Your Honor, we was living in 2 different parts of the...
Did you see that coming? Judge Lake dives deep, dissecting the timeline of their rocky relationship to pinpoint when little Chase might have been conceived. They zero in on December 9th, 2015, a date that sparked a steamy car encounter, believed to be Chase's start line. Hang tight, the revelations just keep unfolding.
Chase is 2 years old, so clearly it did go on past one sexual encounter, because you wouldn't be a potential father had you not continued to have sex with her. Chase is only 2.
Exactly.
So what happened where you all reconnected during the period of time when Chase could have potentially been?
It was in December 9th, 2015.
You all reconnect, or did you get back together?
Talk about a plot twist. In a candid confession, Mr. Brown reveals a pre-encounter with his girlfriend before rekindling things with Ms. Hawthorne. This juicy tidbit adds layers of doubt and suspicion about who really could be Chase's dad. Don't blink now. The next segment will throw you for a loop.
You
What we
have
talked
sex
about.
in the back of this car.
Yes,
Is this the day you feel like you conceived Chase?
yes.
I pleased her
You're-
and I didn't finish, Your Honor.
Your Honor, that's a complete
Oh,
lie.
you're saying you didn't
complete
finish
lie.
the act.
Actually, I warned him. I told DeAndre, I was like, I'm not on birth control. So I said, it's at you at your own risk. Will.
The reason why I did not finish because it wasn't on birth control, so why would I proceed
But you
to...
were the only person I was with.
You won't believe this one. Amidst the chaos, Mr. Brown voices his skepticism about being Chase's dad, hinting at another man in the picture with whom Ms. Hawthorne had moved in. But she stands her ground, denying any romantic ties with her so-called roommate, insisting it's all about Mr. Brown. The courtroom's buzzing, and you'll want to stick around for the bombshell about to drop.
She had a boyfriend at the time.
Me and this guy, we were
Is
roommates.
this a guy you've been intimate with ever?
No, he was just a friend.
You're gonna move in with someone and not have sex with them.
Yes.
A male is not
Yes.
gonna try anything with you to
No,
have sex.
not if he's just a friend. Not if we never had that type of relationship.
Get ready for the grand finale. All eyes are on Judge Lake as the much-anticipated DNA results are unveiled.
It has been determined by this court. You are not the father.
Buckle up because here we go! Miss Ellison openly admits to cheating on her boyfriend with Mr. Jenkins and now claims that he is the biological father of her daughter, Olivia. The audience can't help but react with a mix of shock and disapproval as the scandalous details are aired out. Miss Ellison, undeterred, insists that Mr. Jenkins has completely ignored his responsibilities towards Olivia, and she's here today to make sure he steps up. You won't believe how Mr. Jenkins tackles these claims next.
Ms. Ellison, you admit to cheating on your boyfriend with the defendant and now claim he is your daughter Olivia's biological father. Now you say he's done nothing for your baby and you are here with your mother to demand he step up.
Hold on to your coffee, because things are about to get spicy. Mr. Jenkins steps up with a strong denial, attributing his skepticism to Miss Ellison's history of multiple partners. He accuses her of using the paternity claim as a strategy to rope him back into a tangled relationship. The judge acknowledges his claims, setting the stage for what's turning into a courtroom showdown. Brace yourself for the next exchange. It's a doozy.
You state you have sufficient reason to believe she's lying when she says that you Olivia's father. How do you know you're not the father of Miss Ellison's child?
Miss Ellison had many partners, many sex partners. When I first met Miss Ellison 10 months into our relationship, she made it known that she still was in a relationship with her boyfriend.
Just when you thought it couldn't get more heated, Mr. Jenkins lays it all out, detailing Miss Ellison's relationships with various men, including numerous sightings of her with different partners early in their relationship. Miss Ellison initially denies these accusations, but reluctantly admits to ongoing relationships when pressed further by Mr. Jenkins and the judge. The audience can't hold back their groans as the plot thickens with every revelation. What unfolds next will definitely raise some eyebrows.
It's your contention she admitted to you she was with other guys.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, he knew I had another boyfriend. That wasn't a secret. Everybody knew. He made me promises that he couldn't keep. He said he would show me a better life and he would do this and do that and treat me like a nice boyfriend.
Did that really just happen? Yes, it did. Miss Ellison shockingly admits to having unprotected sex with both Mr. Jenkins and her boyfriend during the same time period. She confirms Mr. Jenkins' suspicions about other men, casting further doubt on her paternity claims. The judge questions her decision-making, emphasizing the messy web of relationships she's entangled in. You'll want to stick around for the next part. It's an absolute roller coaster.
So you slept with him?
Yes, Your Honor.
No protection?
Yes, ma'am.
But also still sleeping with your boyfriend?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because there were other guys.
Multiple guys, Your Honor.
Your Honor, that is a lie.
How do you know there were multiple?
Seen them. Seen her
You
had
saw
dinner with
them.
many guys.
You think that was wild? There's more. As they dive into the details about the delivery and post-birth events, Miss Ellison reveals that Mr. Jenkins was minimally involved, only making it to 3 doctor appointments. The focus shifts to the lack of support from Mr. Jenkins during these pivotal moments, highlighting the emotional strain and chaos in their relationship. Their disputes continue to escalate as Mr. Jenkins contests the allegations about his involvement. Get ready, because the next segment turns up the heat even more.
So nothing. I couldn't talk to him.
What you need to talk to him for?
But you said you wasn't in a relationship. Hey.
Man, don't act like you wasn't talking to that man. You was
I
talking
didn't
to
have
that
no
man.
contact with
Man,
my
come
boyfriend
on, man.
when I was dealing with Mr. Jenkins.
Any contact with your boyfriend?
After I found out that I was pregnant, everything
Oh, after
off.
you found out you were
Yes,
pregnant?
yes, Your
Okay,
Honor.
so while you were pregnant, who went with you to doctor's appointment?
My mama.
Now hold on tight. This is where it gets really juicy. The tension hits a new peak as Mr. Jenkins presents a court document revealing he has been summoned to a child support hearing, despite uncertainties about his paternity. The audience reacts with laughter and murmurs, clearly amused and intrigued by the dramatic turn of events. The judge presses Miss Ellison on her decision to pursue child support without paternity confirmation. Stay tuned. The truth is about to be unveiled.
Yes,
Man, I
Your
got
Honor.
evidence right here, Your Honor. Evidence right here. Could be somebody else, baby, but you taking me to child support court. Child support for a baby that could be somebody else, baby. Come on, man.
Grab your popcorn, because here comes the big reveal. The entire courtroom holds its breath as the judge prepares to deliver the DNA test results.
Mr. Jenkins, you are her father.
Can you believe what just unfolded? Mr. Montgomery kicks things off with a bombshell, asserting his belief that he's the biological father of 3-month-old Timothy, having been there at the birth, and even signing the birth certificate. This belief is at odds with Miss Parker's claim that her current fiancé, Mr. Lanou, is the real dad. The drama doesn't stop here, it's just getting warmed up.
You've petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove that in fact are Timothy's father. Ms. Parker, you claim to be 100% positive that Mr. Montgomery is not your son's biological father because your fiance, Mr. Lanou, is. Now, you say today's DNA test will finally allow you to get rid of Mr. Montgomery and allow you to remove his name from your son's birth certificate.
Did you catch that twist? In an emotionally loaded declaration, Mr. Montgomery explains his involvement during the pregnancy and why he's so convinced that he's Timothy's dad, including the poignant detail of naming the boy after his late father. Ms. Parker throws in her 2 cents, admitting that during the ultrasounds, she too thought Mr. Montgomery was the father. Buckle up, because the roller coaster is about to take off.
I believe I'm the father because, I loved her. Me and her were together. We were sexually active, Without a shadow of a doubt, I just believe, firmly that this is my son. I was there, through the pregnancy. She allowed me to sit there and sign the birth certificate. And what the funny part is,
Because
she
I thought
allowed
he
me
was
to name
your
the son after C's father.
Strap in for this revelation. Miss Parker drops a major truth truth bomb by admitting to juggling romantic escapades with both Mr. Montgomery and Mr. Lanou around the time Timothy was conceived. This juicy bit dives into the reliability of using 3D ultrasounds to pinpoint paternal resemblance, throwing a spicy twist into the paternity mystery. And guess what? It only gets crazier from here.
I had sex with both of them around the same time and the same day.
You're talking about one of these 3D ultrasounds? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
And I know what you're saying when you look at the baby and you pick out features and you say, so I can understand why you could say to yourself, oh, I think he kind of resembles, but there's no way if you were sleeping with another man during the window of conception, Miss Parker, you could say, or you could rule out Mr. Lanou.
This next part is a game changer. In a jaw-dropping turn of events, it's revealed that Mr. Montgomery had no clue about the ongoing relationship between Miss Parker and Mr. Lanou. This disclosure underscores the emotional turmoil and complicated social dynamics at play, especially as Miss Parker and Mr. Lanou maintained their liaison, while Mr. Montgomery was led down the garden path. The plot thickens, so stay tuned.
Mr. Montgomery, do you remember this conversation when you found out that they were sleeping together?
Absolutely not, Your Honor. Before Timothy was born, no, I had my suspicions, but I never had, concrete evidence that they was actually sleeping around.
So clearly, Miss Parker, you're sleeping with both men.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you end up in the hospital having your baby. How is it that Mr. Montgomery ends up when you knew it was a possibility that both men could be the father?
It was a possibility that I'd been the father of Timothy.
Here's the moment of truth. The much anticipated DNA results are finally unveiled in this climactic scene.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Montgomery, you are not the father. Mr. Lanou, you are the father.
The case Woods versus James kicks off with Mr. Woods claiming he is the biological father of 1-year-old Addison, whose paternity is contested by Ms. James after she initially acknowledged him as the father. You won't believe what's coming next. Buckle up for a roller coaster of emotions.
You say your dream of becoming a father came true when the defendant gave birth to your 1-year-old daughter, Addison. But that dream became a nightmare when months after you became a daddy and signed the birth certificate, the defendant said you are not her father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
The room is thick with tension and raw emotions. Mr. Woods, with a tremble in his voice, expresses his deep emotional connection and unshakable belief that he is Addison's father, recounting the time they conceived and his profound attachment to her. Grab your tissues. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
The time Addison was conceived, me and Aubrey slept together. Deep down in my heart, I feel like she's my daughter. I mean, if she's not, it's gonna break my heart. I mean, I've been through everything. I love this girl to death. For the past year, I've been there.
So for the past year, you've been there.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are certain you slept with Ms. James during the window of conception.
Yes, ma'am.
The atmosphere turns heavy as Ms. James takes the stand. With eyes welling up, Ms. James acknowledges Mr. Woods' role in Addison's life and his belief in his paternity, but insists on revealing the truth in court, despite the emotional difficulty due to their established bond. The story twists even more in just a moment.
And Ms. James, why are you so upset in this moment?
Because I know Cody is a good dad to Addison, but I'm here today to tell them that he is not the father, and I did tell him this before.
It even hurts you because you know the bond they have established. You know how much Mr. Woods loves Addison.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you can see she loves him.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you're saying you have to come here to tell the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
The courtroom hangs on every word from Mr. Woods. He delves into how he met Ms. James, their blossoming relationship, and the steamy circumstances under which Addison was conceived, highlighting a scandalous moment of infidelity during a troubled time for Ms. James. Just when you thought it couldn't get more complicated, there's more drama ahead.
What was the nature of your relationship?
We met through some friends a while back. She was in a relationship with her ex at the time, and I didn't mess up things with her and her ex, and we was just good friends. We had a Valentine's Day party. I seen her there, and she was crying, and I asked her what was wrong, and she said her and her ex got into a fight because he didn't want to come. So I spent like 30 minutes trying to cheer her up, and then we left, and we had sex 3 times, and she felt bad because she cheated on her boyfriend at the time, so we didn't talk about it.
The audience chuckles and awes fill the room. In a tale that could only be true in a rom-com, Mr. Woods describes his unique marriage proposal to Ms. James, using nothing but chicken nuggets during a time when that was all she could stomach, symbolizing his commitment and love in the quirkiest way possible. But hold on, the next part is even more jaw-dropping.
4 months after we got together, I got engaged to her.
Did you ask her?
Well, the only thing she could really keep down was chicken nuggets, so I took her to the restaurant, and I proposed to her with chicken nugget, and I said I'd be one happy nugget if you'd marry me.
Oh.
And when I gave her the ring and the chicken nuggets.
Oh, that's cute. So you'd be one happy nugget if she would marry you.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you gave her the ring?
Yes, Your
And
Honor.
what did she say?
She said yes.
As Mr. Woods shares the birth story, you could hear a pin drop. Moving to the birth of Addison, Mr. Woods was there in the thick of it, signing the birth certificate and fully embracing his role as her father, despite Ms. James's unresolved paternity doubts. Fasten your seatbelts. It's about to get bumpier.
You were at the hospital?
Yes, Your Honor. And I was rocking her to sleep and stuff because she's in pain, so I stayed there the whole time. I called off
And
work
did you
just to
sign
stay
the
there.
birth certificate?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
So, Ms. James, if you had these doubts, why did you allow Mr. Woods to sign the birth certificate?
Because he proposed to me and he knew that it was right to someone if he wanted to take responsibility of the child.
So you allowed him to sign the birth certificate because he had proposed to you?
And because he said that he always wanted to be there, rather if it was his child or not.
The mood shifts as Mr. Woods recalls a pivotal fight. After a significant argument, Ms. James spitefully admits that Addison might not be his. A bombshell she dropped out of emotional distress and had previously kept to herself. You won't want to miss what comes after this curveball.
We was living together at the time, we was still engaged, and we got into a big fight, and I walked outside, she came out with me, and that's when she said that Addison may not be mine, that could be her ex.
Why did you say that to him in that moment?
Because out of spite to get to him, and also because I've told him before that he wasn't the father, and I just wanted to reassure him that he knows that he's not the father.
Everyone leans in as the judge presents the evidence. Judge Lake unveils posts from Ms. James's social media that blatantly contradict her current claims, showing her publicly acknowledging Mr. Woods as the father, which adds a layer of intrigue and confusion to her testimony. Stay tuned, the twists in this saga are far from over.
And in doing so, we uncovered some social media posts, the first of which is from Ms. James' account, Aubrey James, and it says, "Good morning from Daddy and Addie." And that's a picture of you, am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes,
Ms. James, did you post this?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you seem to acknowledge in this post that Mr. Woods is Addison's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Also from you, "Man crush, you my baby daddy and my fiance."
The judge is about to drop a bombshell, and the room is on edge. The DNA test results are disclosed.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Woods, you are not the father.
Buckle up, it's about to get real. Judge Lake opens the case, introducing it as Davis versus Cole. Mr. Cole is accused of denying paternity after initially accepting a child as his own, setting the stage for a heated and dramatic showdown. What happens next might just knock your socks off.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Davis versus Cole.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Davis, you say that after accepting your daughter, Autumn, Mr. Cole abruptly ended your relationship, moved out of your home, and is now denying her.
Here we go, folks. This is where the drama starts to unfold. Ms. Davis asserts that Mr. Cole is the only possible father of her child, while Mr. Cole disputes this claim, citing inconsistencies and doubts about Ms. Davis's fidelity. Their initial positions ignite an emotionally charged examination. If you think that's spicy, just wait for what's next.
Mr. Cole is the only man who could be Autumn's father, and you intend to prove paternity today. Mr. Cole, you admit to initially accepting Autumn as yours and even signing her birth certificate, but now claim that Ms. Davis is untrustworthy. You say there are too many facts that don't add up, and there is no way you are her child's father.
Grab your tissues. This part is a tearjerker. Ms. Davis expresses her hurt feelings over Mr. Cole's denial of their daughter, emphasizing the emotional weight of the situation. Meanwhile, Mr. Cole maintains his financial support for the child, but questions his biological connection. And guess what? It only gets more tangled from here.
I feel hurt, angry, disappointed how he all of a sudden not claiming my daughter. He is the only man that I've been with since February.
So, Mr. Cole, you're not claiming the baby?
Yes, I claim the baby. I still take care of the baby. And
you do?
Yes, anything she asks for, I do for the baby.
Hold on to your seats. This backstory is a roller coaster. Ms. Davis details how their relationship started and evolved until she discovered her pregnancy. This context highlights the once intimate and trusting bond between them, now shrouded in doubt and conflict. And you won't believe what comes out next.
Tell me about the nature of your relationship before you got pregnant.
Yes, I had met Mr. Cole at a basketball game, a homecoming game, and we had Google eyes with each other. We had exchanged numbers, and we had chill a couple times.
You continue this relationship, and at some point you find out you're pregnant?
Yes, ma'am. After me and Adrian have sex a couple times, I have found out I was pregnant March 21st. I was 4 weeks pregnant.
You'll want to pay close attention here. Mr. Cole recounts external influences that fueled his doubt about being the father. father, including unsolicited comments from others and disturbing messages sent to Ms. Davis, adding layers of complexity to the narrative with hints of possible infidelity. Strap in, because the next revelation is a doozy.
I went to school like a week later and someone walked up to me. She wasn't even pregnant that long. And people were walking up to me saying that the baby might not be mine in her messages and was mad that she was pregnant. He wrote her right after she told me she was pregnant.
This text had come through where this man was mad because she didn't tell him and it could be his baby.
Yes.
Things are getting juicier by the minute. An intense discussion about Mr. Cole's reluctance to sign the birth certificate at the hospital unfolds, revealing deep layers of mistrust and confusion about paternity. As the stakes get higher, prepare for an eye-opening twist.
You then start getting people coming up to you saying this isn't your baby.
Yes, ma'am. And I was just start asking her questions about the guy. She didn't give me any credible answer that I could believe. So I was really having doubts and I wanted to go get a DNA test myself.
You couldn't get the DNA test?
They wouldn't let me because I had signed the birth certificate.
So Ms. Davis, once you tell Mr. Cole you're pregnant, initially he accepts.
Yes.
So you all are going through the process of having a baby.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he's present?
Yes, Your Honor.
Didn't see that coming, did you? Mr. Cole explains how family opinions and a provocative social media post by Ms. Davis convinced him to accept paternity, only to face renewed public doubts later, illustrating how public and private pressures can sway one's decisions. Keep watching, the plot thickens even further.
Like 2 years, she was about 2. She uploads a picture on one of her social media. The same guy who wrote her when she first got pregnant writes her again and says, "Your daughter looks like my kids."
Really?
Yes, Your Honor. I did that because, like he said, people was coming up to him and asking him was Adam his, and I just did a split image of those three and was asking the same people who does Adam look like more. 100% sure that Adrian is the father of Adam.
This testimony could flip the script. Ms. Davis's sister steps up, introducing shocking new information that potentially places another man in the intimate timeline close to Mr. Cole, significantly raising the stakes and uncertainty surrounding the paternity issue. The next part is a real jaw-dropper.
Miss Ashley Davis, Ms. Davis's sister, is here to testify today. Hello, Ms. Davis. Thank you for joining. You are Ms. Davis, Amber's twin sister. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're here to testify as to what you know about the relationship between Ms. Davis, your sister, and Mr. Cole. You knew about this relationship?
Yes.
You might want to sit down for this one. The court discloses the DNA test results.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Cole, you are not the father. Ms. Davis, would you like to finally just lay it on the line and tell the truth?
It hurts.
Mr. Woody is here today, desperate to find out if he's the biological dad of the defendant's kiddo, a child he once thought was his own and even named after himself. The stakes are sky high as he faces the possibility that he might not be the father after all. What's around the corner is just as jaw-dropping.
Mr. Woody, you are here today, desperate to learn if you are the biological father of the defendant's son. You were initially convinced he's yours, and you even gave him your name, Michael Woody Jr.
Yes, Your Honor.
Brace yourself, because this next part is a doozy. Ms. Wilson throws a curveball, admitting to a fling with another dude around baby-making time, and she's not even sure who the real daddy is. Her confession lays the groundwork for the drama-filled paternity results that are central to the case. Watch how Mr. Woody handles this bombshell.
You confess you slept with another man at the time of conception, though you honestly can't be sure who fathered your child, hoping today's result will give you that answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were at a crossroads. You've fallen in love with the baby, even though you really don't know if he's your biological child.
Yes, Your Honor.
Here comes a tear-jerker moment. Mr. Woody shares his fatherly dreams and plans, from tossing the baseball to shooting hoops with his supposed son, showing how deeply he envisioned their future together. His bond with the little guy shines through, despite the swirling doubts about his paternity. The emotional stakes are about to get even higher.
So I got plans made. I'm ready to go play baseball and basketball with them. All the stuff a father's supposed to do with his son. So I'm ready to be a father to a boy now.
So you're already having the vision.
They here.
Everything you're gonna do, baseball, basketball, first haircut.
Everything.
No haircut?
No,
Yeah. Oh, let me see how long yours is. All right, yeah, that would be a no haircut. So you love the baby?
Yes.
Just when you think it couldn't get more tangled, Ms. Wilson recounts the fateful night that started it all, involving a casual stroll, some drinks, and an encounter with Mr. Woody that led to unexpected consequences. This backstory sheds light on the complex emotional landscape and the tangled relationships at play. Hold on, because there's more drama to unfold.
When I met Mr. Woody, I was walking down the street with my friend,
and we were drunk and we were going up to the store in an apartment complex, with his daughter in a stroller, and he said, cute. And I was like, oh, you cute too. So we walked to the store and we walked back to my friend's house. We had intercourse.
Was he the only man you were intimate with during that time?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Get ready for the sparks to fly. The court digs into a spicy exchange of messages between Mr. Woody and Ms. Wilson, revealing a storm of accusations and denials around the pregnancy and impending paternity test. The tension in the room cranks up a notch. Just wait until you hear about the dramatic birth that follows.
I didn't know anything of it until a few days later, until after my birthday, when I tried to go home. My girlfriend, look at your Facebook, you got somebody pregnant right now. And I'm like, shut up. No, I don't. And she's like, yeah, you do.
Now, do you believe it was his girlfriend answering you back, or do you think it was him?
Honestly, I don't think.
If you can read the messages, that is clearly a grown woman. That is not no man speaking in them messages.
Too many words, right?
Way too many.
Gear up for an emotional roller coaster. The birth scene is portrayed with intense emotion as Mr. Woody is right there in the thick of it, even cutting the umbilical cord. Described as both a heartwarming and heart-stopping event, the baby's brief brush with death, followed by a miraculous recovery, adds an intense twist to the tale. The aftermath is something you've got to see.
You were there when he was born.
I was there. I cut the umbilical cord and everything.
And then tell me about the birth.
It was very painful because he died at birth. We had to sit there and watch my son be lifeless, and it hurt, just to even watch that for anybody, whether you know the child or not.
And so for what you're saying is for a few moments.
5 minutes, about 5 minutes. I had to bring him back.
And they brought him back.
Brought him back. He is
Oh, that's amazing.
Are you ready for this bombshell? As Judge Lake readies to unveil the DNA test results, the tension is palpable. The climax of this courtroom drama, where the emotional investment hits its peak. This revelation is about to turn everything on its head.
Well, I think we've come to the point where it's just time to have the result. Jerome, the envelope, please. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Woody V. Wilson, when it comes to 2-month-old Michael Woody Jr.
This will knock your socks off. The DNA test results are out.
Michael Woody Jr. Mr. Woody, you are not his father.
What?
Buckle up, folks. Mr. White kicks off the court drama with a bombshell, claiming he's not the father of Ms. Loving's 5-month-old daughter, Loyal. He's called this whole courtroom shindig to prove just that, setting the stage for what promises to be a roller coaster of emotions. And guess what? It only gets wilder from here.
Mr. White, you have summoned Ms. Loving to court You did not father her 5-month-old daughter, Loyal. You've brought a witness to court today who believes he is the baby's father.
Correct.
Ms. Loving, you admit that Mr. White wasn't your only sexual relationship, but say you can prove he is Loyal's biological father.
Mr. White brought a mystery guest he thinks might actually be the real daddy. Ms. Loving isn't having any of it though, insisting that despite her busy love life, Mr. White is definitely the bio dad. Strap in, because this ride's about to get bumpy.
Explain to me your relationship with Ms. Loving.
We never did have a relationship. Like, for 4 years I known Tim. We were good friends, but we were never in a relationship.
But you had a sexual relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
Going on dates,
Correct.
meeting his mom, calling
Correct.
his mom.
Correct.
You're calling my mom. I'm
Correct.
meeting took you to a family reunion,
Correct.
but I'm not your girlfriend.
Hold the phone. The court dives into the complicated relationship between Mr. White and Ms. Loving. Turns out they were friends with benefits, but definitely not Facebook official. This juicy bit sets the stage for a paternity puzzle that's about as clear as mud, and it's about to get even juicier, so stay tuned.
But clearly you were in a sexual relationship.
Correct, yeah,
Were you
yeah.
using protection?
No.
So you're sleeping with a girl
with no
unprotected
protection,
that's
but
not
your girlfriend.
Correct.
So take me to this point. How do you find out?
If I can recall, I was at work, and she had told me she was pregnant, and so, what I'm saying, so when I got off work, I went over there. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, I'm asking, I'm the only possibility. She like, yeah.
I did say
So
yes.
I'm like,
I said
so,
yes.
Correct.
You won't believe this plot twist. In a modern-day confession, Ms. Loving admits to spilling the beans on Facebook, telling Mr. White about the 50-50 daddy odds. This digital bombshell was a game changer, pushing the paternity drama to new heights. Keep your eyes peeled, because the next revelation is a doozy.
We just seen each other.
The entire pregnancy, Ms. Loving, you told Mr. White White, when did you tell him otherwise?
I told him on Facebook in August that it was a 50-50 chance.
Your Honor, I never knew there was a 50-50 chance.
Yes, you did, because when you came to the hospital, Will, I showed you the message. He came to the hospital when Loyal was born. I showed him the message. Why tell one man that's a 50-50 chance and not tell the other?
Can you imagine? On the day Loyal was born, Mr. White rolls up with a DNA test in his ride, ready to sort out this baby daddy drama once and for all. This bold move highlights the tension and the stakes involved, making this more than just your average Maury episode. Watch out, because the next part is a real jaw-dropper.
The day she gave birth, Your Honor.
You went to the hospital.
I went up there. Before I went up there, I got a DNA test, Your Honor. Left the DNA test in the car. I ain't want to bring it up there because I ain't know who was up there. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't want to be rude because we're going to be in my
That was rude anyways, Will, for you to even do that.
How can it be rude when you don't know who your baby daddy is?
What you mean? Okay, I told you it was a 50-50 chance. Okay.
The plot thickens at the hospital. Mr. White is all set to swab and solve the mystery, but faces a wall of resistance and skepticism. The uncertainty is palpable, and his doubts about paternity only deepen. Grab your popcorn, because what comes next is straight out of a soap opera.
Whether this child
I walked in the room, hey, how y'all doing? Miss Brennan like, damn, Will, you look different. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, what you mean, Miss Brennan, I look different? I need to take off these glasses. She like, nah, it ain't the glass. I said, why you saying that? Because the baby don't look like me? She was like, you damn sure don't.
So they're examining you.
Yeah, correct.
But did you bring the DNA into the room?
No, ma'am, I did not. I wanted to do it, but I didn't do it. You feel what I'm saying? I just wanted to have respect.
Twist alert. Ms. Loving throws another curveball into the mix with her topsy-turvy pregnancy timeline, complete with conflicting conception dates. This revelation throws everyone for a loop, adding layers to the paternity puzzle. The scene is set for even more twists, so don't touch that dial.
Ms. Loving, you got a conception date.
Yes.
During your first appointment.
Yes. I went to a recovery center when I found out I was first pregnant. Basically, I decided that I didn't want to have my baby. So basically, this is the center that basically helped cope with the situation, but instead they gave me a conception date, keeping my baby, because they gave me an ultrasound. I heard her heartbeat and I couldn't do it anymore.
And when you got that conception date, leaned towards there were two men in the picture.
Exactly. When I got the first conception date, it pointed to Mr. White. So that puts me in the middle with two guys.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any more crowded in here, enter Mr. Talbert, stage left, claiming he might also be the father. This new contender ups the drama and complexity, turning this court case into a paternity melee. The suspense is killing me, and you won't want to miss what's next.
Congratulations, bro.
Mr. Talbert, thank you for joining us today. You realize we're talking about the paternity as it relates to 5-month-old baby Loyal. Have had a sexual relationship with Loving, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Do you believe you're Loyal's biological father?
I do.
So why do you believe this?
Well, me and Miss Loving, we actually were in a relationship. The relationship was short.
The moment of truth has arrived. Everyone leans in as judge delivers the DNA verdict.
It has been determined by this court. Loyal's biological father is Mr. Talbert. Congratulations, sir.
Appreciate it.
Oh boy, here we go. Ms. Thompson emotionally recounts how Mr. Smithby abandoned her and their children, leading her to drop out of nursing school. She emphasizes the hardship of struggling as a single mother while seeking justice and support through paternity tests. And just when you thought it couldn't get more intense,
you claim Mr. Smithby abandoned you and your children, forcing you to drop out of nursing school and leaving you to struggle as a single mother. You've come to court seeking paternity tests for both of your children, Legend and Radiance.
Grab your popcorn. This is getting good. Ms. Thompson explains the importance of the DNA tests, highlighting her children's right to a father and her desire to alleviate her struggles. This moment underscores the emotional and practical stakes involved in the paternity tests. Keep your eyes peeled. The drama unfolds further.
Because my kids deserve a father. Not only that, I'm tired of struggling with my kids. I need help so I could finish school, so I could take care of us better.
Why don't you help out at all, Mr. Smithby?
I actually do, Your Honor. We were never really in a relationship, and I do take care of them. I do what I can for the children, you know, food.
So you say it wasn't a relationship?
No, it wasn't.
Did he really just say that? Mr. Smithby admits that their connection was merely sexual, revealing a fundamental disagreement about the nature of their relationship. This revelation adds complexity to the narrative. Strap in, folks, with the responsibilities of parenthood they are discussing. Just wait until you hear what comes next.
Just a sexual relationship, basically.
And so it was just sex, and that's enough to make 2 children. And the children are just gorgeous.
Ooh-wee.
So when you see your children, that affects you. What do you feel as a mom?
I'm hurt. Not only for my kids, but for me, like, he's saying we was never together, but he was living with me in my home. His clothes was there, he had it to my house.
Things are heating up. The specifics of their eldest child, Legend's conception, are detailed, pinning down exact dates that tie Mr. Smithby to potential paternity. This is a a pivotal moment as it ties specific actions to the legal outcomes being sought. You won't believe what's up next.
Let's start with Legend. Legend is 2 years old.
Yes, Your Honor.
Take me back to the circumstance surrounding Legend's conception.
We had sex, which was May of 2013, the 11th and the 12th. Both of those nights we had sex. And my son was supposed to conceive on May the 12th. There's no doubt in my mind that Mr. Smith Bay isn't the father.
Do you remember having sex with her on those days?
I do remember having sex at that time, but at the same time, she tried to hide the whole situation.
This just keeps getting better. The discussion becomes more intense as accusations of deceit and denial are exchanged, with both parties painting a picture of a complex and tumultuous personal history that affects their children. The next moment is a doozy, so stay tuned.
Blaine, you said she tried to hide it.
Yes, like
no, he was hiding me because he had a friend at the time that has a baby in between my 2 kids. So I wasn't hiding him, he was hiding me.
She told me not to come around while she was pregnant. I couldn't see her while she was pregnant, so that's why Legend wasn't mine. Like, I would call and text, ask, can I see her? Do you need anything?
He
Can I
knew
come
where
over?
I stayed
And
at.
that's not
Also
true.
popped up to my house several times while I was pregnant with Legend.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Are you ready for the grand reveal? The climax of the episode occurs as the paternity test results are revealed.
Mr. Smith Bay, you are his father. In the case of Thompson versus Smith Bay, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Smith Bay, you are the father.
Just when you thought daytime TV couldn't get any juicier, Ms. Miller kicks off the legal battle against Mr. Brewer to confirm he's the daddy of their twins. She's all in, hoping to prove his paternity and glue their split family back together. The stakes are sky high as she tries to patch up the home front, disrupted by doubts of daddyhood. Brace yourself for what comes next.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Miller versus Brewer.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Miller, you are here in hopes to save your family. You say Mr. Brewer's paternity denial of your twins has led you to pack up, move out, and relocate to another state. You have opened this case to prove to the defendant is the father and put your family back together.
Talk about a plot twist right off the bat. The real tea gets spilled as Mr. Brewer admits he's cool with Zane being his son, but throws a curveball by doubting he's Zara's father. This whole suspicion stems from Zara not looking anything like him, unlike Zane, who apparently is his mini-me. You'll want to stick around to see how this unfolds.
It's not the twins that were in question, it's just Zara. It's not Zane and Zara, it's just Zara.
So there is eternal twins, and you say only one child is in question.
Yes.
And so Zane, you believe, is yours.
That's my twin, he looked just like me.
But you don't believe Zara, the girl twin, is yours.
No, I do not.
Here's where it gets spicy. Mr. Brewer dishes out his doubts about Zara, linking his suspicions to Ms. Miller's sketchy past and their rocky love saga. He's totally not seeing any family resemblance with Zara, which just adds fuel to his paternity paranoia. Just wait until you see what's up next.
This doubt is eating away at you.
Yeah.
Because you really don't feel like Zara's your biological child.
No, I don't, Your Honor. Partially because Raquel, her shady actions is like, well, we met on a cruise and then, we got together. I thought I'm like, oh, she's fine and everything. We got together.
And I didn't talk to him first. I gave him the wrong number.
Well, we talked.
Oh, well, how did you find her if you gave him the wrong number?
He stalked me and he found me.
Hold on to your popcorn, folks. The drama escalates as Mr. Brewer accuses Ms. Miller of sneaking around, saying she hopped into a car with another dude and vanished for a whole weekend. This bombshell deepens his doubts about baby Zara's lineage. The next clip will totally knock your socks off.
She's hopping in the car with another man. I knew it was.
What?
I mean, I seen his hair. Flat top box. That's not a woman's hair.
Crazy. Mr. Brewer, how long was she gone with this other man?
A few days, like the weekend. She would leave on Friday, come back like on Sunday night, Monday.
I don't remember.
So after finding penis pictures in the phone, seeing her get in the car with another man, you said she must be sleeping with somebody else.
Yep, it pops up pregnant. Like a month later or 5 weeks later, I'm pregnant.
You won't believe your eyes. At the twins' birth, Mr. Brewer's suspicion turns into a full-blown crisis when he sees Zara's lighter skin tone, which doesn't sit right with him, leading him not to sign her birth certificate. This is the moment his doubts get officially documented. The tension's about to hit the roof.
With it, Zara was born first. She was light bright, damn near white. I'm like, that's not my baby. She look Mexican. She don't look nothing like me.
Your Honor, black people can come in any shade or color.
I'm glad you say it over and over again in this courtroom.
He signed Zane's birth certificate, but didn't sign Zara's.
Wow. So this
is Zane's birth certificate. And on the second line, that is the acknowledgement of paternity.
And just when you think it couldn't get more bizarre, Mr. Brewer pulls out the big guns. His toe evidence. He tries to prove a genetic connection with Zane through their similarly curved toes, which apparently Zara lacks. Fasten your seatbelts. The courtroom's about to go wild.
So this is my crusty foot.
Yeah.
The toe curves like a C, and it lays under. Zane's toe is just exactly like mine. It kind of, it's not as crusty, but it curves under like that,
Thank you, Lord.
And then Zara's toe, as you can see, goes straight up. That's how I feel, Your Honor.
Zara's feet looked exactly like mine, like short W1s. So she looked like me. He looked like him. She looked like me.
Get ready for the roller coaster. The DNA results are in.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Brewer, you are the father.
Brace yourself for this roller coaster ride. The episode kicks off with the introduction of the case, Hillman versus O'Neill. Ms. Hillman, alongside her mother, steps up to claim that Mr. O'Neill is the father of her 13-month-old son, DeMarcus, and she's pushing for a DNA test to prove it once and for all. Mr. O'Neill, on the other hand, is steadfast in his belief that he's not the dad. Just wait until you see what happens next.
This is the case of Hillman versus O'Neill.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Hillman, you and your mother are appearing today because you claim the defendant got you pregnant and has since refused to do anything for your 13-month-old son, DeMarcus. You've petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove that he is DeMarcus's father.
Buckle up. This next part is a doozy. Ms. Hillman lays out the lack of connection between Mr. O'Neill and DeMarcus, highlighting how Mr. O'Neill neither financially nor emotionally supports the toddler. She paints a picture of a child reaching out to a father who just doesn't seem to care, setting the stage for a heart-tugging testimony. You'll want to stick around because the tension just keeps building.
Ms. Hillman, what type of relationship does Mr. O'Neill have with your son?
Well, Your Honor, he don't do nothing for him. They don't have no relationship together. Like when I hold him, Your Honor, and my baby go to reach for him, he ignore him.
Does he provide for the baby financially?
No, he don't do nothing. My mom and the baby's godmother is the one that actually helps me with everything.
Here's where it gets spicy. Mr. O'Neill admits he's been MIA in DeMarcus's life, justifying his detachment with serious doubts about being the father. He recounts a past misadventure of fathering a child that wasn't his, which has left him wary this time around. Just when you think it's calmed down, the courtroom drama intensifies.
Mr. O'Neill, haven't done anything for the baby.
I got my doubts. I ain't doing nothing for the baby.
So you mean it?
Nothing. No chain, no diaper, no pampers, no nothing. Cause I ain't finna take care of nothing. I ain't mine.
But
I done been through that spirit before.
Well,
so I ain't finna be no dummy 2 times.
Fasten your seatbelts. This revelation is juicy. The discussion turns to how Ms. Hillman and Mr. O'Neill's relationship began, a whirlwind romance that sped from 0 to 100 overnight. Ms. Hillman recounts how Mr. O'Neill didn't just ask, but insisted she was his girlfriend from day one, which quickly led to the conception of DeMarcus. And trust me, the next bit is even juicier.
Me and Mr. O'Neill, we met through 2 mutual friends. The first night we met, we chilled, okay, He told me I was his girlfriend. He didn't ask me like he told me. He demanded that, okay, you're my girlfriend, we're together. So the second night, me, him, and the same 2 mutual friends, we got together, we chilled. That's when, I conceived DeMarcus.
Second night, though.
So it was the second night.
Yeah, it
I like
was.
woman leave make me wait about 2-3 weeks.
Get ready for a curveball. Mr. O'Neill starts doubting the timeline of their relationship, hinting that Ms. Hillman might have been pregnant before they even met. He questions the exclusivity of their early days together, stirring the pot in the courtroom. The air's thick with suspense, and you won't want to miss what's coming up.
You wanted her to be your girlfriend, but now you say, since she had sex with you the second night after she met you, you don't believe that you're the only person she was sleeping with.
I think she was pregnant before she met me.
He needs to step up and do something for him. When she got ready to have him, he left.
But see, that's the point, Your Honor.
He left.
She know that's her grandson, but do I know that's my child?
He looked just like you.
Hang on, because here comes a plot twist. Mr. O'Neill opens up about his fear of getting duped again, having previously attached himself to a child that wasn't his. His guard is up, and he's not about to get hurt again, which explains his distant behavior towards DeMarcus. The stakes are high, and the next revelation will have you on the edge of your seat.
So the man wasn't neither.
What other man? She was with you. She was with you because y'all was at my house. So you were there. Love at first sight. That's what he told me.
And then on top of that, the first time me and him, those mutual friends, ever chilled, it was at my mom's house.
And I wish I would have kept walking.
What?
But you did.
You weren't even walking.
You wasn't walking. talking.
You was
You
on the
rioting.
passenger seat.
You thought that was surprising? Wait for this. As Mr. O'Neill wrestles with his role as DeMarcus's father, a chance encounter in the park leads him to confront the possibility that he might actually be the dad. A stranger's innocent question triggers a cascade of doubt and denial. Keep watching. The climax is just around the corner.
I've been trying for 5 years to try and make a child. All of a sudden, when I get with her, pops up 3, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, it don't matter. Oh, you pregnant? Why the other women didn't pop up pregnant?
Well, maybe they wasn't fertile. Or maybe you weren't trying hard enough.
Said you caught her with her ex and you saw text messages?
No, you didn't. He lied.
What did you see?
How you doing? What you doing tonight? Oh, nothing. Can you come chill with me? Oh, my old man here.
This segment is a real eye-opener. The absence of Mr. O'Neill at DeMarcus's birth becomes a focal point as the court reviews the birth certificate. Father's name conspicuously blank. This glaring omission speaks volumes about his reservations and the real-world implications of his doubts. The drama is far from over. What follows is a must-see.
Was Mr. O'Neill there when the baby was born at the hospital?
No.
I was.
I ain't gonna lie, I was home. Why be there when I had doubt?
So he wasn't there to sign the birth certificate?
No, I got evidence right here.
Let me see that. Jerome, will you hand me the evidence, please? This evidence is DeMarcus's birth certificate, and under father's name, there is no father listed.
Your Honor, it's embarrassing.
As the tension mounts, Judge Lake steps in with some sage advice about taking time to know someone before diving headfirst into a relationship, especially one that might lead to parenthood. She stresses the importance of protection and responsibility, laying down life lessons in a way that only she can. And believe me, the final verdict is just around the corner.
If he don't want to protect himself, you protect yourself. Because at the end of the day, you see where the buck stops, right?
Yep.
Mama's baby, daddy's.
Maybe.
Exactly. And we're the one up in the middle of the night. You live in it, I can see it in your eyes. But I'm talking to you, woman to woman, because I don't want this to happen to you again. I'm gonna get you these results because I want to see how we can move forward. Jerome?
And now, for the grand finale, DNA test results are in.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. O'Neill, you are the father. You're the father.
Can I see it?
Well, strap in, because this is going to be quite the ride. Ms. Douglas kicks things off by laying out her case, suing Mr. Jones, the father of her 5 kids, for a paternity test. She voices her doubts about him being the biological dad to her daughter, Cheyenne, all because of his skeptical attitude and her own slip-up with his cousin. And guess what? It only gets wilder from here.
Ms. Douglas, you are suing the father of your 5 children for a paternity test. You claim at times the defendant, Mr. Jones, doesn't treat your daughter, Cheyenne, as his own, and that he has always been suspicious he's not her biological father.
Talk about a plot twist early on. Amidst gasps from the crowd, Ms. Douglas drops the bombshell that she cheated on Mr. Jones with his cousin. This major reveal throws a spanner in the works, complicating the paternity question and leading Mr. Jones to question whether he's really the dad. You'll want to stick around to see how he handles this news.
Kept a secret from him and you cheated on him with his cousin, but say when that secret finally came out, he immediately denied fathering your daughter. You've also petitioned the court to order Mr. Jones to parenting classes.
Brace yourself. The drama amps up. As Mr. Jones lays bare his frustration and mistrust towards Ms. Douglas, the atmosphere thickens. He's adamant about getting a DNA test to clear up his doubts about Cheyenne's paternity, highlighting just how fractured their relationship has become. And it's only heating up. Keep watching.
You say you wanted to be a family man and worked 2 jobs to support your kid with Ms. Douglas's lies and infidelity. You claim you have every reason to doubt you are Cheyenne's father. You are seeking a definitive answer when today's DNA result revealed. Now, Ms. Douglas, you admit to cheating. Do you believe the defendant has reason to doubt paternity of Cheyenne?
Yes, Your Honor, I do, because I did make a mistake. I slept with his cousin and the condom had broke.
Take a breather with this backstory. We take a little detour into the past as Ms. Douglas reminisces about how she first met Mr. Jones and his cousin at a party in her building. This trip down memory lane sheds some light on the tangled web of their relationship and ongoing unfaithfulness. But don't relax just yet. The next revelation is a doozy.
It got good. I met Tyrone actually at a party that happened downstairs in my building. I met him and his cousin. Me and Tyrone got together the first night we watched movies. Next night we did have sex, but we weren't together. We just had sex, and after that he went back to his other baby's mom. And then I met his cousin, and I slept with his cousin, but we weren't together. So yeah, I slept with his cousin, but after that I found out I was pregnant. I called him and I told him I was, so I'm like, okay, I just never brought it back to his attention because I had 3 other kids I took care of by myself anyways.
The emotions are raw and real here. When Mr. Jones discusses the bombshell pregnancy news from Ms. Douglas, his uncertainty about being the father is palpable. His hesitancy about stepping up as a dad adds another layer of tension to their already dramatic saga. And trust me, the next part adds even more spice to the mix.
But she basically just denied doing it up until the point that's the reason we here now.
What did you feel, Mr. Jones, when you heard Douglas say, I'm pregnant and it's yours?
I wasn't too sure about it when she told me, but I'm like, okay, when she did tell me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna step up and do what I gotta do.
So you did try to support her through this?
Yeah, I actually did.
Can you believe this roller coaster? Just when you think it can't get any more tangled, Ms. Douglas confesses to another encounter with Mr. Jones's cousin, spun as payback for his own betrayals. This cycle of revenge and betrayal keeps spinning, making their relationship more complicated by the minute. The next segment, even juicier.
He did not care at all.
Did you care?
I mean, I cared, but it was just to the point to where when I met her, who was actually incarcerated at the time, but she was also messing around with another guy who wasn't the father of the child she was pregnant with.
Was it any part of you that was excited? Did you?
I mean, it was, because I actually was there numerous of times during the pregnancy. It was just in the mix of that I had kids already. I should have been knowing she was pregnant with my child, because I wasn't really sure.
Here's where things really start to unravel. Ms. Douglas reveals that Mr. Jones took off to Chicago with another woman, neglecting her and the kids in the process. This major curveball highlights the rocky foundation of their family life and sets the stage for even more fireworks. Just wait until you hear what comes next.
When the baby was 2, he went to Chicago with his other's baby mama. We were together then, and I'm pregnant with his son. How I knew he was in Chicago with his baby mama was she texted my phone like, oh, you're looking for your man? He's with me. You wonder why he's not calling your daughter? Because he's with me.
Were you with another one of your children's mother when you went to Chicago like she's saying?
Yeah, I actually was. Because I was actually with my other baby mom before I was actually with Alexandra.
As if the stakes weren't high enough, we dive deeper into the chaos as Ms. Douglas talks about the birth of their twins amid ongoing infidelity from both sides. This peek into their tumultuous relationship reveals layers of distrust and conflict, making it a messy but gripping story. And the next twist? It's a real cliffhanger.
I just had my twins 7 months ago. He's still talking to women. I don't never talk to anybody first. After I find out he cheats on me, that's when I do it. But I really do want to be with him.
You just keep saying, okay, now see, I do not believe in cheating. I not believe in cheating. But when he does this, then I go do that. It just turns into a catastrophe.
But yesterday he was texting a girl on Facebook. We're supposed to be together. We're working on us for our kids, and you're writing somebody on Facebook?
You won't see this coming. Judge Lake steps in to try and untangle the couple's disastrous relationship, questioning their commitment and its impact on their children. Her intervention underscores the court's concern for the welfare of the kids caught in the middle. But hold on, the real showstopper is just around the corner.
Don't you go co-signing because you're net. How in the world can you potentially have 5 children with this woman and be so irresponsible and disrespectful that you continue to sleep with her family member?
My favorite cousin. My favorite
cousin.
Nowadays.
The day she laid down with your supposed father of your children, she's no longer your favorite cousin. Let me give you that.
Here's the big reveal everyone's been waiting for. The climactic moment of the episode unfolds as the DNA results are disclosed.
When it comes to 4-year-old Cheyenne, Mr. Jones, you are not